I did part of it. Okay, yesterday we defined what inferences are. What did we figure out as a definition for inferences? What would you use, like 1 or 2 words? Go ahead, Matt.
Hold on.
None of those are correct answers, by the way.
It's an idea, right? Idea of.
Educated guess.
Yeah. But
What'd you say? Educated guess?
it's an idea.
Is that what you said? Okay. Any others?
An educated guess you have facts on?
Anything else?
A
Apart from-
conclusion.
A what?
Conclusion.
Conclusion was good. We also used the word suggestion yesterday. All those are pretty good definitions, okay? But we can't make a conclusion or an educated guess or a suggestion about something unless we have some evidence, right? If you had a bunch of brown plants in here and you knew I was the only one in this room, you might say, I can infer that Mr. Clendenning is not very good at taking care of plants, right?
Christmas tree.
Why we have evidence, that I'm the only person in here, and that there's brown plants. It's not the case,
The
but
janitors could water it.
what's that?
The janitors could come and water it.
They could. I do it once a week though. It's not that hard. Just kind of do this with the water. Not that bad. We also talked about inferring when using context clues, right? So it's not going to tell you the definition of a word when you're using context clues. You have to figure out the meaning. So really inferring, it's not so much like you're guessing about stuff. You're just using what's in front of you to figure out the meaning. What does it suggest, right? Okay. Sometimes the paragraph does not have a stated main idea. So now we're going to look at main ideas in the text. And we're going to look at some examples that don't actually have the main idea as one of the sentences. Usually when we're finding the main ideas, we look for like sentence 1 or sentence 2 or the last sentence, right? But in this case, there won't be one. Okay, so I already know the answer before I ask you where it is. Sometimes a paragraph does not have a stated main idea, so it's not actually said. In such cases, the writer has to decide to let the supporting details suggest the main idea. So you look at all that evidence, and then from there you infer or you suggest what the main idea is. The main idea is unstated. What does unstated mean? Okay, it's not said, right? Yeah, it's not said. Or implied. So you have to figure out, if I give Cam a dirty look because he just was like talking out of turn, I'm kind of implying to him that, hey, he maybe shouldn't be talking out of turn, right? Did I say that? No, but I implied. I gave meaning to it, okay? And you must infer it, figure it out by deciding upon the points of the supporting details. So, asking 2 questions will help you determine the writer's main idea. You actually might remember what these are, because they're the same thing when we talked about finding the main idea. What is the topic or subject of the paragraph? So we look for words that like repeat themselves over and over, or things that are similar that repeat them. Might be the topic. Usually the topic is, it's not a complete sentence for sure. It's maybe a few words. Sometimes it's one word. Okay. In other words, what is the whole paragraph about? The other question to ask is, what is the main point being made about the topic? So, not just what is the topic, but what is the author trying to say? And then we might have to come up with our own implied or inferred main idea. Okay. The paragraph below has no stated main idea. So, when I ask you for the main idea, it's not going to be a sentence in there. Read the paragraph and then ask yourself, what is the topic or subject of the paragraph? In other words, what is the whole paragraph about? What is the main point being made about the topic? All right. Nucci, you want to read this one?
When you have a relationship with someone, it is almost certain that you will argue now and then. To keep an argument from causing hard feelings, listen to the other person's point of view. Don't just hear what you want to hear, but focus on what the person is saying. Also try to identify with his or her point of view as much as you can. Remembering that a view other than your own may be valid. Another way to keep an argument from causing hard feelings is to concentrate on behavior that is annoying you, not on the other person's character. For example, say, "This bothers me a lot." Not only a stupid idiot would act the way you are. Finally, when the argument is over, put it behind you.
Okay. None of those sentences are the main idea, first of all. But can you figure out what maybe the topic is or what's the subject? That we can find. Yeah? Arguing? Is that what you said? Okay, so we can, she says the word arguing. We have the word argue, argument, argument. Yeah, it's mentioned at least 3, maybe 4 times, right? Or what is the paragraph about? We look for words that repeat. Topic is arguing. Okay, what is the main point being made about the topic? Okay, now we're going to decide on some, I'm not asking you to come up with it, but we'll decide on what the main idea is. Okay, the unstated. So none of these sentences are in the paragraph, right? You with me, Marcos? Okay, why don't you put the book down then? Okay. Sounds like a bad thing to tell a student. Don't read that book. You can't read. It's allowed, but yeah. Anyway. Okay, the unstated. Unstated means it's not actually said, right? Is it A, people often argue with each other? B, when you have a relationship with someone, you should try not to argue with him or her? C, there are guidelines you can follow to ensure that an argument does not cause hard feelings. Or D, the most important point in knowing how to argue is to put an argument behind you once it is over. All right, think about those. Think about which would fit the best for this paragraph. Because when you get to the lessons, you're going to have to do this a lot, especially the tests. All right, let's take them one at a time. A, is the whole paragraph about how people often argue with each other? No, not really, right? It does say something like that in the first sentence. It's almost certain that you will argue now and then, but the rest of the paragraph doesn't support that. B, when you have a relationship with someone, you should try not to argue with him or her. No? Okay. I mean, that's kind of, I can't see any sense that actually says that, but that's not what the whole paragraph is about, right? Let's see if we can find evidence. Yeah, if you need to put something behind you, that doesn't mean you'd argue or avoid it altogether. So that one really isn't stated at all. Okay, how about C? There are guidelines you can follow to ensure that an argument does not cause hard feelings.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, what are those guidelines?
It says right there.
Okay, to keep an argument from causing hard feelings. Again, it says to ensure that an argument does not cause hard feelings. Listen to the other person's point of view. Another way to keep an argument from causing hard feelings is to concentrate on behavior that is annoying you, not on the person's character. Right? And finally, when it's over, put it behind you. So we have the 3 guidelines. D, the most important point in knowing how to argue is to put an argument behind you once it is over. No, that's just one of the points. Okay? So there are guidelines you can follow to ensure that an argument does not cause hard feelings. If we had put that like maybe as sentence 2, so we said when you have a relationship with someone, it's almost certain that you will argue now and then. There are guidelines you can follow to ensure that an argument does not cause hard feelings. And then that could go flow right into the next sentence, right? Okay. The details of the paragraph are specific guidelines for keeping an argument from causing hard feelings. Listen to the other person's point of view. Try to identify with his or her point of view. Concentrate on behavior that is annoying you, not on the other person's character, and when the argument is over, put it behind you. Therefore, answer C is correct. Makes a general statement that covers the specific guidelines listed. Just gonna skip over that. Okay, in review, in this chapter you learn the following. Making inferences is a skill we practice all the time with much of what we see and read. Again, what does the evidence suggest? What does the reading suggest? What does the text suggest? That's what an inference is, okay? It's not like you're guessing about what it is. It's just, what is it really saying? A suggestion is when somebody, tells you to do something or gives you an idea. So what idea is the text suggesting? What idea is it giving you? Okay? Okay. Important ideas in reading may not be stated directly, but must be inferred. In fact, I would say to you, more often than not, they might be inferred because you have to figure out, right? If I say to you, like a penny saved is a penny earned, am I talking about, value a penny? Well, maybe. Right? You need to value all money that you can possibly get your hands on because in the end it leads up to that. But I didn't say that directly. Okay, to make good inferences, we must use the information presented, our own experience, and common sense. Okay, we can switch over